a lot line inside of the Oasis project bid is really just a money line. So I could type lot, a description, and some money, and that basically adds money to the project. But there's a little more to the story. That is, typically when I'm using a lot line, I'm usually trying to record a total value for a factory, or maybe a color charge, freight, or something like that. It's money I'm adding the quote. Everyone's above board on it, but the main thing is I really want to capture it on one line because I have to, or there's really no representative material associated with it. Okay, so let's use one example there. So one option is I end up with a material here, so this fundamental lighting. I need to get a little lower on my price, and if I jump over to manufacturers, basically I'm at $430 total on the sell price for just fundamental lighting. Well, I need to be below that. Let's assume for the moment I need to be down to about $400 on this one, or below if at all possible. First thing I'd like to do is print and send an RFQ to the factory, in this case fundamental lighting. Next, I'll say need to be below, okay, below $400, print. Okay, now what it's trying to do here is there's actually this target price where I could actually spell out how much money I'd like to have on each line. I did not do that, and in most markets that's not a big deal. But if I say copy all, what it'll do is it'll take my sell price, effectively drop it over in the manufacturer target column, and send that over to the factory. I'll just say no, because I really don't care what they end up pricing each item at, but the main thing I need to be is below $400 on the one item. So this is the quote, or the price request that I'll send over to the factory, and I'll just basically blank out my salesman I'm showing here and send it over to my quoter at the factory, and they have it. Now, if I get a response back, let's say they met the $400, and now I need to identify the lines that are covered by that quote. Well, there's a lot that I could do here. The big thing is I need to show the lot line, and it's only covering fundamental lighting, nothing else. Biggest thing I want to show is the quote number that I have to respond to when I send the order over to the factory. If I don't do this, basically they could do whatever they want, really, and not credit me or actually give me the response to this quote. So I'll put in their quote number, whatever it happens to be. And there's actually a trick here. I can go in, and instead of keying it here on each line, I can go back to the manufacturers over here and place it in here, but I'll just do it by hand this particular time. So if I key it in there, it'll spread it down to all the different fundamental lines on the quote. Now, next thing I need to do is simply identify the amount. So it's $400. I'll mark it up 10 points. That's where I'm going to send my quote out to my customer. I'll go ahead and mark up the other item as well to gigawatt here. Next thing I'll do is it's no longer $13 on the sell price. I need to get rid of that. I mean, this is not a real price here. This is really $0 or blank, if you will. But if you like, you can actually go one step further and say it's just a lot line, and it'll find fundamental over there saying, okay, yeah, that item is tagged as part of this lot. That item is tagged as part of this lot. And the kind of the advantage here is if I tack on another item later, maybe I'm pulling it from stock or whatever the case is, I can identify the real price of that item, and it is not included in that lot line there. What does it look like when you print? Customer copy. I'll go ahead and add a customer real quick. Go ahead and show my grand total. Now, you can choose to show the lot lines. I won't in this case. I'll simply say, hey, all I'm getting from the factory is a lot line, so all I'm going to send to my customer is a lot line as well with a grand total.